Buddy Belt is an all-leather step-in harness that I designed for my little dog, Buddy. He was actually the inspiration and star for this business. He was coughing as a result of a neck collar, so I looked to find other alternatives, which at the time didn't exist in the market. So my choice was to design one myself. When I first designed the Buddy Belt for Buddy, I really assumed that was it. He was getting a harness that I made. But even in his crude version, in those initial days when I would take him for a walk, I'd have people stop and say, what a great harness. Where did you get that harness? Even kids would say, that's a cool harness. And so I would meet people that were neighbors or close associates who wanted me to make one for their dog. And the challenge then became, okay, not only do I have to make another Buddy Belt, but I have to make different sizes. And I didn't go to school to learn about patterning and craft in that sense and design in that sense. But I figured it out by going to the library and using a photocopy machine. And in those days, we didn't have, the computer softwares and the computer technology that we have to, now. So I was enlarging and reducing and enlarging and cutting and pasting. It was a crazy, crazy time. And, and trial and error. I would hand cut all of these belts for people. And, when we launched in 2001, these Buddy Belts were hand cut. And now, 9 years later, we have 10 employees. We ship to 15 countries, and we manage all of that within one facility. Getting customers internationally is always a challenge and a new challenge for every different country. Japan, again, started with one person wanting a Buddy Belt and getting that shipped there. And that was fairly straightforward, a small package, ship it, but not knowing what happens at the end for that customer. So there are certain duties and customs and brokerage fees that our customers have to deal with at the other end. So when you get to the point where you're dealing with some of your bigger customers, retailers, bigger buyers, sometimes what we do is we break our shipments into 2 or 3 packages. So they're not as large, they're easier to handle, easier to manage. And then based on what kind of fees that they are looking at the end of the line, we can negotiate a little bit of a break in the shipping price point based on their volume that they're ordering. So there are those certain types of things you do on an individual basis with a retailer or a buyer where you're negotiating, because there are always fees at the other end, and they differ for countries, so you do need to find that information. So those are always challenges. Marketing is, it's essential, and the shift to focusing more energy on say, the Facebook, Buddy's Facebook, I believe has connected our community globally, and there's nothing that is more vital than communicating to your market globally, directly, on a platform that's easy, accessible, and essentially everyone around the world has access. It allows us to present new product. It allows us to share in people's celebration, if you want to say, of their Buddy Belt, their Buddy Belt collections. We have people who are so excited to share their dog's Buddy Belt collection, which can be up to 30 Buddy Belts or more, and we've seen it. We have records of it. Primarily, what has made Buddy Belts a success are all the dogs around the world that are happy wearing their Buddy Belts. If it wasn't for them, there would be no business. And this is Buddy. He's the inspiration and the star of Buddy Belts. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. Buddy Belts wouldn't be traveling the globe, and there would not be a business. So he was 1 year and 3 months old when we started Buddy Belt, when I designed that first crude template, and now he's 16 and a half years old and still remains the star and the brand.